So I've been getting a ton of messages to make another thumbnail tutorial. Basically, what you need to make my thumbnails is SFM. It's a free software in Steam, totally free. And I made a video about 2 weeks back. I'll link it in the description. So basically goes over how to get SFM and the basics of SFM. I will be making a full tutorial on SFM in the future. But right now, this is mainly focused on Photoshop and what I do to make my thumbnails. So with all that being said, guys, please hit the sub button. Please hit the bell if you do enjoy my content. All my socials will be popping up right now. You can follow me over there, ask me questions. I will get back to you guys much faster on my socials than on YouTube. So if you do want to follow me on there, you can. But let's get into it, guys. So I've already gone over everything in my other video, which is linked in the description. So if you haven't seen that, I recommend watching that. It's very, very useful. But right here, I just want to, before I get into Photoshop, I want to show you guys how to get the character renders. So you want to be on Steam. You want to open up Source Filmmaker on Steam. You want to go to Workshop. And then you want to type in Modern Warfare. Search that up. All these will pop up. They're all made by the same guy, so all credit goes to him. Bunch of characters. If you do download them all at the same time, it will ask you overwrite, and you want to click yes to all. If you click no to all, the textures will be messed up on a lot of them, so make sure you click yes to all, just a little tip. So let's hop right on over to Photoshop. So once we're in Photoshop, you want to go up to File, click New, and this is what you want to make. You want to copy my settings right here, 1280 by 720. Copy my settings, and then just hit OK. Now, once you have it opened, you want to find a background. Now, backgrounds are the most important part of your thumbnail. It doesn't matter how good of a character render you have or a gun render or whatever. If it's not a decent background, it's not going to pop. It's not going to look good. So an easy way to get backgrounds, you can go online. You could type in Warzone. You could type in Battlefield. You can type in Escape from Tarkov. There's so many thumbnails. You can take your own screenshots in game if you have good quality at least. So once you get your background, all you want to do is open up your background in Photoshop. So here's my background right here. All you need to do after this is duplicate it into the one that you just made. Mine's Untitled 1. So all you got to do is just duplicate it. So now we have it over here, and now you want to resize it to how you want to resize it. So we're going to resize it. We'll put it right there. That looks good. And now what you want to do is you want to open the character that you just made in SFM into Photoshop. So here's my character. I just made this guy, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Just like we did with the background, just duplicate him into Untitled 1. So here he is. He's looking all nice. Here he is. All we need to do now is resize him. So we go up to Edit. Go up to Free Transform, and then hold Shift and drag down. He's too small right here. Let's bring him bigger. I like mine closer up and bigger. And then from here, I like turning it a little bit. So we'll turn it up a little bit, and then we'll make it a little bigger. Drag him down. We'll keep him like that. I like that. So here he is. So what I like to do is I'm going to hide him real quick. Here's the background. Background looks nice, but I like to add a blur to it. So all you want to do is go up to Filter. Go up to Blur, Gaussian Blur, click that. Mine's on 2.2. I hit OK, and it blurs out a little bit, and then you go back up to Filter, and I do it twice. Hit Gaussian Blur again, does it twice. Now it's blurred out. Now you add your character. Now more focus is on the character than the background, but it's still there, obviously. Now this is bland. There's just no color at all. This is, I mean, it looks good, but it's just, there's no color, you know what I mean? So what you need to do to make it look colorful is you need your own color correction. You need to add hue and saturation, things like that. So I'm going to add my color correction and hue and saturation right now. Okay, so I've added my hue and saturation and color correction. So this is what it looks like before. This is what it looks like just with the hue and saturation. It colors everything up. Look at the difference. So that's just a huge difference already. And then adding my color correction, it really, really brightens the whole image up. And from before to this is just, it's crazy. So I'm not going to give out my color corrections, and I'm sorry about that, but I just don't want people to have the exact same thumbnails or color as me. Obviously, I don't think anybody would want that. So you can find tutorials online of how to make color corrections, obviously, but basically that's what you need to do to brighten up your background, make it look colorful. And now from here, this looks good. I like it like this. This looks good, but we need to add some things to the character. So you want to click the character, right click them, blending options, go to outer glow, click this box right here and turn it to white, turn the size all the way up, and then the opacity down to like 17, 20, around there. I'll put it on 18. That just adds a little glow behind the character, and it honestly makes a huge difference. So now looking at the image right now, you can tell that the light coming from here, because this is lit up, this is shadowed out on the buildings down below. The light is hitting down from here. So what we need to do is we need to click our character, come down here, make a new layer, right click it, click create clipping mask. That means whatever we do on this layer is only going to be on this character, nothing on the background. So since this is the dark side, since this is the shadow side, we're going to go over here. We're going to click the brush. We're going to come down to our colors and we're going to make it black. We're going to hit OK. We're going to right click the screen, put the hardness all the way down on 0, and we're going to turn the size up to a decent size. That's pretty good. And then after you change this to black, you want to come over here, make sure you clicked on this, and then you want to go up to here where it says normal, click it, and then you want to put it on soft light or overlay. I usually do soft light for the dark. Once you've had it on soft light, all you want to do is just go on the sides like this. Darken him up. So we darkened him up. There's a big difference right there. We've darkened him up. And now all you want to do from here is you want to turn the opacity down a little bit. Usually like 80 is good. So now on this side, there's no light hitting on this side. It's his shadow. So we've darkened him up a little bit. This side is where the light is hitting. So after you've made the shadow on this side of him, you want to click the character again, come down, make a new layer. And since you make a new layer, since it's under this, it'll be another clipping mask. So it'll only be on the character. You want to make sure you're clicked on this one, the new one. Come to this box, make it white. It's white because the light is coming from here. So this is going to be the shadow. This is going to be the light. And we're going to do the exact same thing. And we're just going to click on the side of him. We need to make it soft light though. Make it soft light and then just click all around and down him. Just like that. And then what you want to do is you want to turn the opacity down a little bit. And then you get something like this. So now this looks pretty solid. This looks good. But I like to step it up a notch. So look at his eyes right now. His eyes look good, but I like to make them pop a little bit more. So what we're going to do is we're going to click the character again, and we're going to make another new layer. It's going to be a clipping mask again, but it doesn't really matter. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come down here. We're going to change it to about 300%. Zoom in. Scroll up just to where we see his eyes. And then we're going to come down here. We're going to click this box. And then all we're going to do is we're going to click under right here in his eyes. And then we're going to hit OK. And then all we're going to do is adjust the brush size to match his eyes. You just right click it and bring the size down. Make sure it's on the lowest hardness. Click off that. And then we're going to match his eyes and just click and click. And now it looks weird right here. All we got to do is come over to here on normal and then just click overlay. Now we zoom out, go back to 100. Now look at the difference. His eyes just pop so much more just doing that. I found it looks so much better. You can play around with it. You can get different colors if you click in different spots, obviously. Or, I mean, you can make your own color if you want red, blue, whatever. I haven't really tested out how that looks, but I found that this looks much better than just the average eyes. And now, I'm not a huge fan of adding text to thumbnails. I think it helps thumbnails a lot and I like it, but it's much cleaner when there's not a bunch of text on. So basically what I like doing is I just add the Call of Duty Warzone logo. So I'm going to add that in right now. So here's the Warzone logo. It's obviously big. It's behind them right now. And the reason I do this is because it just kind of fills in the gaps and it definitely helps make it look better instead of just keeping it nothing, you know? So basically what we're going to do is we're going to resize this, go to edit, go to free transform, and then hold shift and then just resize it how we want. I think I'm going to have it on this side. Now it doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to size it to where it exactly says. It doesn't really matter. Just, I'm going to keep it like this for now and then hit check. And then what I do, this looks fine right now. It looks fine. But what I like to do is I like to go up to filter. And then since we've already made the blur, it saves. So I just click Gaussian blur once and then boom, it blurs it. And it just gives it a nice blur effect, blurs in with the background. And I feel like it just looks so much better than having the regular Call of Duty Warzone HD, nothing, it's just sitting there. I just feel like blurring it out makes it look a little better. And it's also different than other people. So now that we're here, we're basically done. But what I like doing at the end of my thumbnails is I like coming down to here and I like changing it to 50% because making it smaller, you can really see everything that you've done right, everything that you've done wrong. You can really see the full image. And to be honest, I like it like this. I like it right here. And that's basically it, guys. That's the full tutorial on how I make my thumbnails. Like I said, you can follow my socials. You can ask me questions there. You can ask me questions down below in the comments. I will get back to every single one of you. In the future, I am going to be making another SFM tutorial. I've had questions about the fingers because the fingers are definitely the hardest to learn in SFM. There's 3 parts to every finger, so I will definitely be making a tutorial on that in the future. But guys, to every single one of you out there, thank you all for watching. I really, really appreciate it, and I will see you guys in the next one.